We are all gonna say a prayer that this camera doesn't die before this video is done. Hello, welcome back. Welcome if you're new. I'm Flo. Hi. Today I bring you a ginormous book haul. I've bought a lot of books. How many have we got? 21. We have 21. We have 21 books to talk about today. The majority are thrifted. I've bought a couple, there's a couple library books. We're gonna go through them all. I will just address, did I need to buy more books? No. No, I didn't. But, shut up. Okie dokie, on with the show. The first book, thrifted, is The Soulmate Equation by Christina Lauren. Interesting fact that I think is true. Christina Lauren is two people, so one of them's called Christina, one of them's called Lauren. I haven't read a Christina Lauren book before. I know there's a few really big ones, something Wilder I know is really popular. Alright, well, the battery didn't die, but the SD card did fill up. Somebody tell me how I filled up a 64GB SD card. Anyway, we made it through literally one book, so yay for The Soulmate Equation. We're gonna move on. Next up, I had quite a good day this day. I think I got these all in one day. I found some of the most popular fantasies of all time at the thrift store. I found Caraval. I don't know too much about this other than it's very popular. I believe this is about a circus, like a visiting magical circus. I don't know, it sounds fun. I know Stephanie Garber is very well celebrated amongst the sort of romance fantasy sort of genre, so I don't know if it's along those vibes, but I thought it sounded fun, and how pretty is the cover. So we have Caraval. Then, if you watched my reading 100 pages a day video, I read Shatter Me, and since reading Shatter Me, I have found Unravel Me and Restore Me on two separate trips actually. Unravel Me is the second one, Restore Me is the fourth one, so I am missing the third and the fifth and the sixth. But it's fun because now I've found 3 out of the 6 Shatter Me series books in thrift stores, in 3 different thrift stores, which I just think is fun. So I'm going to try and see if I can find the rest of the series in thrift stores. For anyone who doesn't know, these are dystopias. They're a series about a girl called Juliet who has a lethal touch. And I've read the first one and I'm going to read this one at some point. Then I bought a book called Who Cares If They Die by Wendy Dranfield. Which is about, I've never heard of this, I'll be honest, I don't know the author or the title, but I thought it sounded interesting, and it's about a group of women who have been going missing and murdered, I believe, and it says the victims are all women living on the fringes of society, addicts and criminals. Who will miss them? I think the main character is like, well, nobody else cares enough to do anything, so I'm going to do something. I don't know, I thought it sounded interesting. So yeah, that was just a complete random buy. Normally when I'm thrifting I kind of look for titles I know or like covers I really love, but I don't know, this one just caught my eye. Then this one is actually a library find. I'm actually currently reading it at the moment. I'm on page 70. But I found Book Lovers by Emily Henry, and there is possibly a video coming in the near future where I'm reading this. So I won't tell you my thoughts so far, but it's my first Emily Henry book and I'm enjoying it. I guess I did tell you my thoughts. I have more thoughts than that. Watch the video to find out. Then this is another one I've not heard of. It's called The Extinction Trials by S.M. Wilson. Again, not an author I've read before. The sticker on the front says The Hunger Games meets Jurassic Park. I don't know, I thought it sounded interesting. And it's a sort of fantasy thing. The blurb says, in Storm Chaser and Lincoln's ruined world, the only way to survive is to risk everything. To face a contest more dangerous than anyone can imagine, and they will do anything to win. And it says there are monsters and there are humans and reptilians. I don't know, it sounded interesting, the cover's fun. I thought, yeah, why not? Then I found 2 books that are sort of OG TikTok books, I feel like. Again, I wasn't necessarily really in the booktube world at that point, but I just know that I'm pretty sure these are the OG books. If they're not, you can shout at me in the comments, but I think they were. And so it felt wrong not to buy them. So The Spanish Love Deception, which I believe is like a fake dating trope maybe. which isn't anything I've ever read. I'm gonna go in with an open mind and we'll find out. This is a romance. This is about a woman who, I think she has like a rival at work, but they have to go on a trip together. Okay, so the main character needs a date to her sister's wedding because her ex-boyfriend and his new fiance are going to be there. Sticky. And so I think she finds this guy who I think she doesn't like, but she's like, well, I need someone to this wedding, so you'll do. I have no idea what it'll be like, but I know it's an OG favourite, so it felt wrong not to get it when found in a thrift store. And then the other one I also found is The Hating Game, which says soon to be made into a major picture, which I think it might already be with Lucy Hale. Oh, the main character's also called Lucy. Oh, interesting, this says Lucy and Joshua hate each other. Not dislike, not begrudgingly tolerate, hate. So this sounds like another enemies to lovers. I probably could have guessed that from the title. Literally called The Hating Game. Don't know why I was remotely surprised about that. Okay, so this is like a workplace rivalry. They're both up for the same position and they don't like each other, and I guess they have to fight for the job. But yeah, so that is A Spanish Love Deception and The Hating Game. I then have 3 Lisa Jewell books, one of which I bought full price because I just finished The Family Upstairs. This is the sequel to The Family Upstairs, The Family Remains, which is on my September TBR, and I had to get it. I had to buy it. I often don't buy sequels straight away, but this one, I was like, I need to know, because I loved The Family Upstairs. I thought it was just incredible. And it was my first Lisa Jewell book, but it absolutely will not be my last. So, had to get that one. And then the other 2 I found while thrifting were I Found You and The Night She Disappeared, which I believe have also been quite well praised. I don't know anything about either of these. I assume they're both thrillers again, but they were 75p each. Lisa Jewell is now an author I love based on that one book that I've read. And I feel like I'm gonna love these too, so I couldn't not. I couldn't not. I'm gonna categorise these next 4 as very popular fantasy TikTok books that I've found while thrifting. All of these are thrifted, which I'm pretty proud of. Proud is a weird adjective for that. I'm not sure how much talent was involved. Just lots of time in random bookstores. But I did thrift all of these, so I'll just go through very quickly because I'm sure everyone knows what they're about. But The Red Queen by Victoria Aveyard, great name. So from what I know of this book, it's about a world separated into 2 classes. There are the reds, which are the commoners, and there are the silvers, which are like the royals, the elite. And a girl called Mare, she's a red girl, has powers that I think only one of the silvers is allowed. So to sort of hide her in plain sight, they take Mare into the silver world. Then we have Shadow and Bone by Leigh Bardugo. I've read Ninth House by Leigh Bardugo and loved it. I thought it was incredible. So I had to give Shadow and Bone a go. I don't know anything about this one, but it sounds really fun. I then found ACOTAR in literally perfect condition. I cannot believe this has been read. I think whoever donated this didn't read it. A Court of Thorns and Roses is probably the most hyped series ever on TikTok, on BookTube. I don't know ever, but definitely one of the most hyped series of all time at the moment. For anyone who doesn't know, I feel like everyone but me has read it at this point, but this is about okay, I don't understand the blurb, which is not a good start. I'm still getting into the whole fantasy thing. That there's a lot of words and terminology and stuff that I'm still getting used to. I don't know what half of those words mean. My dyslexia is like, no, not playing today. But I've heard great things. The last one in this category that I've completely made up is also a Leigh Bardugo book, which is Crooked Kingdom, which you might be thinking, Flo, that's the second book in a series. And you'd be correct. And then your next logical question would be, Flo, do you have the first one in the series? And to that, the answer is no. But it's in perfect condition, and I really like Leigh Bardugo's writing, so I figured I'll get the first one at some point. When I'm thrifting, if I see a book, even if it's the middle of a series, but it's like, but I would probably read that series at some point, I'm like, I may as well get it. Even though it's the second one in the series and I don't own the first one. I think it's a duology actually. For anyone who doesn't know, this is the second book in the Six of Crows duology. But I don't own the Six of Crows. But it's fine. Everyone stop panicking. I reckon I'm going to do like a video of like reading fantasy for a week or something, because I've got quite a few good ones here. Okay, next up, I'm not going to talk on it too much because I have brought it up in pretty much every video this month, but you've probably not heard of it. It's a little indie book, barely anyone knows it. It's of course Fourth Wing by Rebecca Yarros. I'm currently on page 196. I'm in the middle of reading it. No spoilers, but it is great so far. I'm not going to say anything on it, everyone's heard of it, you know what it's about. Reading forthcoming. I then purchased brand new, I actually didn't thrift these ones for once, the third and fourth books in the Magnolia Park. So we have Magnolia Park's The Long Way Home and Daisy Hates The Great Undoing, which by the way, I'm obsessed with this cover, I think it's so cool. I mean, both of these covers are so cool. And I'll be honest, these were panic purchases because the author, Jessa Hastings, put out a thing basically saying that they were re-releasing the covers, and the first two in the series have different covers. Like the ones I own have like these covers. And then she released the new covers and I was like, but they're not gonna match. So I panic bought these. I was like, I have to get them before they re-release the new ones. And then literally maybe 3 hours later she was like, oh, it's okay, we're gonna still keep the old covers. So now I own both, but that's fine because they're beautiful. They are, however, massive. I don't think this does justice as to how big this book is, but just in comparison to this, I would say this is like a standard size book. Look at the size difference. And then last but not least, well, I have two left. Oh, these kind of have a nice theme, sort of. I have two Greek mythology books. Thrifted, both of them. I found Circe, which is, I feel like the camera won't do justice to how pretty this book is, but it is just beautiful. This is something to do with Greek mythology. I've read the blurb multiple times and not retained any of the information. I'm sorry. This is a vibes channel, it's not an informative channel. I will read this at some point. It's by Madeline Miller, who I believe also wrote The Song of Achilles, which is another book I haven't read, but would buy should I find it. And then, actually last but not least, I have Mythos by Stephen Fry, which I believe Stephen Fry is doing sort of retellings of a lot of different Greek mythology stories. I think this one is about Athena, Zeus and Persephone. Maybe. I don't know. I really, really love Greek mythology, but what I love about this is I think Stephen Fry's intentionally done it to make it accessible. I think. So many of the things that I say in these videos are just things that I have in my brain, and whether they're correct or not is anybody's guess. I think it could be fun. I'm excited to see how Stephen Fry writes as well, because he's such a funny, intelligent person. I feel like he probably writes a great book, but I've never read one. So, yeah. Quick little bonus clip, because while I was filming, package turned up, but it's not any old package. It's a very exciting package. Well, one, it's a book, so always exciting, but it's actually my friend's book. Well, I think. If this clip, if it's like just hair bands or something, I'm pretty sure it's my friend's book. So I thought we could open it together and find out, because I'm very excited. Yeah, okay. Careful not to show you my address. Yeah, it is! How exciting! This is Blessing by Brian J. Twiddy. Oh my goodness. Oh, this is so exciting. Brian and me have the same agent. And I've known him probably about 4 or 5 years. He's such a lovely guy. He's been in one of my films. We did another film together. He's just a wonderful dude. And he wrote a book, which is so cool. I actually don't know what this is about at all. I've read one chapter that he sent me ages ago, so I don't even know if it's still in the book. Should we read the blurb together? Because I actually haven't read it. 2 young illegal immigrants, Dev, with aspirations and irresistible charm, and Addy, his amoral friend, who negates difficulties for money are brought to London. Dev is happy to bend the law, Addy to break it. Whilst Addy lives in the shadows, Dev chases his dream of a business empire. Fate, love and circumstance, aided by a dominating pastor compromised over a blessing passed down through the firstborn of a family for millennia, have other ideas. How exciting. Oh, I'm so happy for him. You should go and buy yourself a copy of Blessing by Brian J. Twiddy. Okay, we'll go back to the video now. So those are the 21 books I have bought in the last few weeks. I'm very excited. I need to read Book Lovers first because I have to return it to the library, and I'm currently reading Fourth Wing, but yeah, the rest I'm excited to read. Thank you for coming. Thank you to my camera for not dying. I appreciate you guys very, very much. Please subscribe, please. Please. It helps. And I'll love you forever. Thank you very much for watching. Do appreciate you. Come back if you want to see reading vlogs of some of these books, or let me know which ones you want to see reading vlogs of. Because otherwise I'll just choose, and nobody wants that. Thank you very much for watching. Have a delightful day.